So, if Harry Maguire is Will Smith and Manchester United is Jada Pinkett, that means Ronaldo is August Alsina. It's the Football Power Hour. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Today we are reviewing Manchester United versus Tottenham Hotspurs. Oof. A match that occurred at Old Trafford, and what a game that was! What a game that was! Big flowers go to. Ooh, so of course, we have to pay our respect and say, man, this is the Sue Power Hour. Finally, goals in the first half, goals in the second half, and I feel like we might have turned a corner, or maybe did we just witness a match that just showcased CR7's brilliance? I don't know. Thing about it is that it was a full strength Spurs versus a full strength United. Sans Bruno, and Bruno COVID, false positive COVID case, maybe not, maybe yes, I don't know. Some health situation going on. And then Spurs is obviously the one of the teams that is our direct rivals for the top four position for the Champions League spot. So we are literally fighting. We're talking about two teams that are playing musical chairs for that fourth position with Arsenal and West Ham. Don't forget about West Ham, even though they haven't been doing that great lately. But don't forget about West Ham. But this is two teams that are more or less same level. I mean, on paper, Manchester United is a notch higher than just a notch higher than Spurs. I mean, they have some star players in Manchester United who on paper should be performing better than the Spurs players. And the other thing is that number the time that the two teams have had with their coaches is more or less the same. I mean, Antonio Conte was appointed around the 2nd of November last year, and Ralph Rangnick also, it was the 29th of November 2021. So we're talking about more or less the same number of weeks of tactical training and the same number of weeks of players listening to the coaches video analysis and blah blah blah, and on the week, during the week, working on plays or whatever it is that they've both had more or less the same amount of time to implement the ideas. Of course, the whole question about like what happens when a team that has had a coach that has drilled them to play a certain way now have to come across like playing versus a new way. So there's some sort of unlearning and relearning that the players have to do in terms of that technical tactical organization. But also sometimes there's a way of sometimes the coach adjusting to what the tactics have already there, that already in place, and more or less it's more about them sort of like fine tuning their ideas to fit the pieces of the puzzle that they find in place. So because both managers didn't start the season with the players. So anyway, Spurs kicked off this match with a really cool way. They didn't boot the ball forward. They passed it around. But then it took Manchester United about 16 seconds to get that ball back. It was such a quick, determined press that it was Nemanja Matic that made find the interception, and that ball was about to go out of the past the touchline, and he saved it and then made a pass to a red shirt, and then it developed into a phase of play that was a Manchester United attacking play, and that was just from Matic and as well as the other teammates pressing really well and being like, we are aggressive and we want to be on the front foot. There's something to be said about that, because I believe the way a team starts is so important. It's almost sets the tone. It almost sets the rhythm and the pace and the gear that the team is going to go on. It's if it's just sometimes a nervy first beginning phase of play, then it's most likely not going to be a very positive outcome. But like we're going to be actually observing that variable and how it affects or how it correlates to the performance as well as the result. Because sometimes it's not always like it affects the result, but sometimes it can affect just the performance. And then you know those are two different things, even though they're related. But anyway, the main thing is that this game was what it started in that way with Manchester United being on the front foot, and we showed that the intent and aggressive attitude. And this time it seems like we didn't forget what we studied for the in the test for the test. It seems like we actually prepared and we stuck to the game plan. But as I like to sometimes do, theory time. I gotta just start with a little bit of one of my false theories that or maybe true theories that like I think we are going to keep being bad at corner kicks. It's no secret now. Manchester United is horrible at corners and set pieces in general. But like we're going to keep being horrible at corners if we don't sign a new corner kick taker because, or maybe even our different set piece coach because. But I'm not trying to call for your head yet, Eric Ramsey. But like just something needs to be done about the situation, and maybe we're just trying to like just give you a little bit of motivation, but the main thing is that there is something that needs to be done about the corner kicks. We can't be aspiring to be a top team and not know what to do with set pieces. So the next player we buy has to have a very good set piece trait. Is that they have to have at least have had double digits in taking corner kicks. A video compilation on YouTube that shows that this person that we buy is a bona fide set piece take. You know, Fico just even buy one Prowse, man, from Southampton. Can we not just do that? Give him like Mata's contract, for example. I don't know. But actually, I'd rather have Rafinha over Mata from Leeds. But that's another topic for another day. Anyway, so talking about Mata, Mata is actually has a very respectable record from assisting from corner kicks. I feel like Chris Brunt is the one of the players that has a double digit, over the last couple of seasons, but like or like from 2012 or something like that, and moving forward. But like the main thing is Mata, I've seen him deliver corner kicks and score, pick a place, pick a position and score. And it's a pity we haven't seen Mata play in last season, this whole season. I don't know. I mean, we've seen him like come in as a sub, maybe. I think maybe when Ole was Carrick. I can't even remember last time Mata played. My goodness. But he's out there. He's a very good vibe, very good person, and I believe that like this contract and his shirt should just be given to somebody else, and that like give it to what Rafinha. I don't know. Maybe by. I mean, it's a pity Traore is gone because I actually was hoping, dreaming that Traore would go from Wolves to Manchester United, but there he is. He's gone and he's doing miracles out there, doing good things in Barcelona for Xavi. Anyway, so I wish that we could say the thing that I really love about this match is that we witnessed a different type of goal. The first goal was different. Here's why. It's not about Ronaldo's brilliance yet. It's about the fact that every Manchester United player got to touch the ball. That ball moved from the left to the right side of the pitch. It moved a step forward, and it moved from the right to the left. It progressed. It moved and it moved. There was such a very patient and progressive build up to it that it wasn't catch them on the break FC that we always are. And it was a different type of goal that I wish we see more of. This first goal and the second goal, but because of the first goal was everybody had touched the ball, and then Varane made that pass to Fred, and Fred Before Fred touches that ball from Varane, he runs into that space. And what I love about it is he takes a quick glance to see on his right, and he sees the red shirt of Ronaldo right there, and he knows that all he has to do is just quickly move the ball this way because more than likely there's a white shirt pressing him. And it was uh, Bentancur, I believe, who was pressing him, and that opened up the space. Of course, people will blame Eric Dyer saying, "Oh, he didn't press Ronaldo," but like I believe Eric Dyer because when Bentancur advances, Eric Dyer was worried a little bit about the space, especially after he saw the flick from Fred, and then from there he was already positionally in a awkward place, and he obviously is still far away from the box that he doesn't need to run and advance and press yet, so that's why he was holding his position, and he just didn't judge the window that was open to his right, and Ronaldo just and that ball was struck so sweetly. Mwah! Only Ronaldo can do that. I mean, Rashford sometimes dreams to do that. We've seen those ridiculous Rashford shots that he sends them to different GPS addresses around the world. And Bruno sometimes has done those long range shots a lot, and also Pogba has used to do that a little. I haven't seen that from Pogba lately, but also he's been away for a minute, and we're only just starting to see him back in his stride. But the main thing that I want to just mention is that the beauty the beauty about that goal is that after Fred's flick, Ronaldo was able to just take that quick second when Eric Dyer was still adjusting to just trap the ball, push it into a nice space, and then take that nice shot. And you could see Kane from the diagonal like view of the camera. He was just like, "Oh, I know that's going in," and we're gonna give the flowers to our main man, CR7. It was the one-handed. Actually, I don't think even he wound up the crowd that much. He just kind of just went. Oh, that was beautiful. And then anyway, we'll talk a little bit more about that selection real quick. But anyway, the other thing that I want to mention, I was moving on to the second goal. That like the main thing to highlight about that it was a beautiful peach of a weighted pass from Matic. Oh my goodness, Matic. We haven't seen that goal too from Manchester United in a while, where the deep lying midfielder is at the heartbeat of the play. That was just such a beauty of a goal, and Sancho being drilled to, if you're Marcus, you never know. You never know if he was really gonna square that ball. But like Sancho, he did the right thing. That Dortmund training knows like you gotta square that ball, and Ronaldo with his attacking awareness knew that I have to run. And Ronaldo actually was able to get a foot ahead of. Don't quote me on this. It might be Reguilon that was marking him. He tried to play him offside, and then from there, like after try to play the offside trap because he was I believe, yeah, whoever the left back was, I believe it was Reguilon. But like he tried to like, you know, play him offside, and then from there try to track back, but like that was too late for the goat. He received that ball and was a tap in goal. Touched your little foot a little bit, which was a little, but like obviously the power and like, it was just the chances of him missing that or that ball hitting Lloris and then bouncing back are so slim. That ball is going in, even if it touches the hand of a goalkeeper or hits him on the head shot like Riyad Mahrez did in last game. But anyway, so the thing that I also want to highlight is that we came back from halftime with a little bit of not a little bit, a significant drop in intensity and aggressiveness, in drive. That like we all sitting back and almost looking for Tottenham to sort of respond. And for me, that's very dangerous because we sat back and we're a bit too static. And if it wasn't for Son slipping, woo, Son's boots had Adama's Traore's baby oil on them, and maybe it was also the atmosphere of the Antonio Conte mentioned that the atmosphere made it very difficult to play, and the crowd and the Old Trafford's when they are the extra player, it can get to you a little bit. And I believe Son is going through that, and there's a little bit of a confidence dip in him, or fall in confidence a little bit, which I feel bad for, because I would take Mata's contract away and give it to Son. That's what I was thinking about, Son. Yeah, but anyway, so he's a little bit out of form and out of lacking in confidence, and you know he slipped. The reason why I say lacking in confidence confidently is the fact that he slipped more than once. I think like three times actually. But on two key critical moments where it was part of a very fast counter, and if he had stayed on his feet or was able to like deliver the pass, it would have been most likely a very very big chance created. So I you know I really think that we have to figure out what it is with our psychology, where we kind of sort of like respond, wait for the other team to respond, and after we go up, and had Son not slipped, they would have responded with an equalizer a little bit too early in the second half, and that would have brought some psychological damage to Manchester United. And there's no telling how that game would have went if we had conceded early in the second half. So the punch and wait to see what the reaction mentality culture has to go away from Manchester United if we want to be a top team again. So when we lead, we have to keep on going. We have to be like, if he dies, he dies. We are gonna keep going. 3-4 now on the first half. You know why can we do that? We have to see that. So that way we don't even have to worry about game management, which is still a key ingredient in becoming a top team. So we have to work on our game management skills. I mean, I know that Ralph Rangnick made the best decision he could make right after Ronaldo put in that third goal from the header. He was like, Ronaldo out, Victor, I don't care if you've been stretching or not, you're on. And that was great, because there was less than 10 minutes left in the game, and that's what you need to do as a coach, to give your team the best tactical and positional advantage possible. And Victor's inclusion, he did perform actually well, because he had a few blocks and a few interceptions that were key in when Tottenham were really going for it. So Ralph, chapeau, take great ball, great on team management, and you have learned from like that other loss, that I think the first loss he learned in the Premier League. So, but we need to figure out what the team should do, because we need to do more of those triangle passes. We need to come closer, play a little bit more compact even when we have the ball, and release and reduce the chances of the passes being intercepted or the other team taking the ball away from us. So that needs to be drilled, and worked, so that like we know how to manage a game better. And when you're a forward player, why are you making a run when we're trying to keep the ball and manage the ball? Why do you think of making a risky pass if you're a midfield or a defensive player when we're trying to manage the game? Why should you deliver the ball? Where's the person that needs to be the extra person, that needs to be, where do they need to be, and when should you expect them? All these things need to be figured out in training. So with much ado, I just want to just say the big standout players for the match, obviously the big homie Sue. Obviously we want to also just say he found his hip. The boy, matter of fact, we need to start a little fundraiser and be like, hey Ronaldo, this is a little fun for you. Anytime you were not playing, just go to Portugal, bro. Go to Portugal, and then while the others are training, like you can like spend at least 2 days away. If we have 4 or 5 days of training, you can spend a day and a half in Portugal, or 2 days, and then come back for the other three. If you want, go fix that hip. The hip that was like lying last time, it ain't lying. You found it in Portugal, bro. we need you to go back to Portugal, Ronaldo. And also, like, it's not the other thing is like Fred found his slippery passport because like it kept on slipping away like saw it at Old Trafford, but man, Fred found that passport. I don't know if Fred's performance was affected by the exclusion or the absence of Bruno in the team, because he seemed to have a lot more space to run into. He seemed to be able to like dribble some play. Fred, there's clips on Instagram when Fred on the first time touch, he just goes like dribbles through like one Spurs play and then pushes the ball forward, touches it again, dribbles through another Spurs play and lays the ball off for it, passes it. And, it's just amazing. He turned into a different little Fredinho. For man, yeah, we need to see more of that from Fred. And I don't know. I just don't know if it's because Bruno was not playing and Pogba's positional laziness, so to speak. He more when he's playing a little bit of more that advanced role, he kind of holds the advanced position a little bit more and doesn't like run into pockets as much as Bruno, because Bruno is a little bit more ball eager in terms of when another teammate has the ball. So I don't know if that's the situation, but I'm starting to. I want to observe to see what the relationship is with Fred when he's playing without Bruno, and also how Pogba plays without Bruno, because that was also kind of different. But like, I love no. I love when Pogba and Bruno play together. Sorry, I meant to say Ronaldo plays without Bruno. So it's the two relationships to observe. To recap, what I was trying to say is Fred without Bruno and Ronaldo without Bruno. Bruno is an integral part of Manchester United's attacking heartbeat. He is at the pillar. I'm not saying, saying nothing, but I'm just saying something. There's something to observe there. So anyway, so the other thing that I want to say is Fred's tenacity and mobility was so important in terms of calming down Son and Kane. And I actually saw Ralph and Chris shouting, but from the touchline, be like, yo, 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 Matic, Fred, switch, Fred, go to the left. Go to the left. That's where Son is right now. It's such a funny thing to just kind of, yeah. I wish they kind of developed a little language. You can like spend like 30 minutes, 15 minutes every day to develop a team language, to be like shouted instruction that only your team understands. I don't know. Maybe it's something worth exploring. I don't know. If I was the coach, I'd definitely do that. I'd be like, yo, yo, Stamps, what's up? What's up, buddy? Come here, come here, come here, come here, come here, come here, come here. You wanna sit here real quick? We're just doing a little quick review. Yeah, sit here, sit here, sit here. Yeah, jump, jump. Yeah, 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 yeah. And then when I say Stems jump, it means Fred go to the left, right? Yeah. Anyway, so I wish like a team develop, because like we could hear Chris shouting that to Fred and Matic, and Stems and I could hear it all the way out here in freaking Massachusetts. We're like, what? What about Conte? Conte would definitely hear it, right, buddy? Yeah, yeah. Anyway, we're gonna finish real quick, and then we're gonna go on our walk. All right. So anyway, so the moment that the moment that like Spurs got this penalty from Kulusevski, dribbling near the byline and then taking that shot near what's his name, near uh Tellez, and Tell I don't know what referee John Moss, John Oliver, no, John Moss. John Moss, what does John Moss expect Tellez to do with the hand? What does like he's just trying to like look away, and obviously he was in motion, and like his hand is over here. So how you want him? You want him to look, man. Anyway, we're not gonna dwell on that. But like the main thing is that like they had a penalty, and Kulusevski was the heartbeat of the Spurs' attacking plays, and as much as like I feel like obviously that he was freed up by the fact that Manchester United midfield was concerned about Harry Kane and Son a lot more. So I just wanted to just give Son's boots some flowers because man, they deserve all the flowers. Thank you, Sonny. I hope you come to Man United if we don't get Harry Kane on Erling Haaland. No, I'm just dreaming. But the standout moment was Harry's own goal. He's like the little kid that always messes things up. It's funny. This game wasn't Spurs United versus Spurs. It wasn't that. It was Manchester United versus Harry Maguire, if you ask me, because he was like the little kid who's on the other side of the car when you're like washing your car, not at the car wash, but like at the back of your yard, and then you're like, one side is clean, and then he just takes the little mud and then just applies the mud on that side when you're washing the other side, and it's just literally like we're trying to get it shiny and he's trying to get it muddy, and it's just so funny. This is not the first time, but like the thing about it is like his lack of positional awareness and reaction sometimes is just it's starting to appear consistently, and I'm just starting to wonder what is it going to take for Harry Maguire to be dropped. If you're a center back at Manchester, if your co-worker is messing up, somebody in a higher role than you, just slightly, is messing up constantly, and you're like, am I just? Sometimes you just gotta be like, hey, maybe I should say something. You know, otherwise things won't. Your boss will be like, well, he's content with seeing what's happening. Maybe if you were like Phil Jones, Eric Bayou, like I would like write an email. RE, I inquire about Maguire. Something, because like man, the homie is just messing up constantly, and I'm just wondering now, like, what is it is this some racism going? Oh no, Phil Jones is not black, but like like I'm just starting to wonder, like, what is going on. So he's putting us through some humiliation and nervousness that's crazy, and I'm just I really like wonder what it's going to take to drop Harry Maguire. And right now, I can just say that I can tell that Eric Ramsey's not doing his job, because the back to the penalty that we conceded, right? The thing about it is that there was a free kick opportunity for Spurs right before that penalty. The phase of play right before the penalty. So we see like that we are terrible at defending set pieces, because this free kick ends up leading to a penalty. Once again, Eric Ramsey. Here's why I can tell that he's not doing his job. There was a 5-man wall, which included Fred, and I believe the person on the other edge was Matic, maybe. And then Fred, after like 15 seconds or so, he just decides, or somehow the players talk. No, Fred, you should be the player that lies on the ground and like blocks the low driven penalty shot. Like, what kind of what's going on right now? Like, don't we have instructions before? Like, if it's a penalty kick, or if it's a free kick from 20 to 25 yards on this zone of the field outside the box, this is what the wall should look like, or this is how it feels like there's a little bit of like disorganization and chaos, even though my other like side theory is that maybe that disorganization kind of con- contributed to Eric Dyer like messing up the free kick, because Eric Dyer is insane at free kicks. There's James Ward-Prowse, but there's also Eric Dyer. He's really, that's why Harry Kane was like, okay, bro, you've been doing it in training, you've been doing it before, go ahead. And Eric Dyer is really, 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 really good, and he messed up that free kick. I was almost counting that it was a goal, but The effect is, that disorganization, maybe it went to benefit, but it is also not hiding the fact that we do not have clear defensive instructions when we're defending set pieces, or they're not being relayed to the players if there are any defensive instructions. So the moment that redeemed our dignity and our, obviously, the 3 points was that third goal, and we knew that the game was done and dusted at that moment, and it was beautiful because of this thing. Even though, Harry Maguire, I'm giving you a lot of doo-doo for being doo-doo, the thing is, Christian Romero laughed at you. You know that song? Hold on. We'll come to you, Christian Romero. We'll come to you. But like, let me finish about let me finish about this. Let me finish about the fact that, like, we were um we you know, you can tell that, like, we redeemed our dignity with the third goal, and then Ralph immediately made the tactical substitution to put in Victor Lindelof, and that means that we sometimes, like, I wonder. And then also Ralph made the substitution of taking out Matic and putting in Cavani when we were at 2-2. So I wonder, why didn't we start with Matic in there? But then also there's sometimes with Cavani in there and Matic, and sacrifice a different player. I don't know. But then, that's not the decisions for me to make, because there's that sort of balance between defensive solidity and attacking fluidity to figure out. And that's for the coach to figure out. But like, the 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 fact of the matter is that, like, we need to know how to defend better. We defended horrible in this game, and if it wasn't for Ronaldo, I don't know where we would be, really, honestly. Ronaldo's performance, it was reminiscent of that time when Portugal was playing Spain in the Euros, and I think David De Gea got them 3 goals, and that 3 goal lashing from Ronaldo. I bet it felt good this time, David, huh? I bet it felt good to be on his team, and be like, okay, this is what CR7 do, and what I want to highlight about this goal, the goal that Ronaldo scored, or one of the celebrations, I believe the celebration for the last goal, was the first goal, actually, was when there's the team hurdle, right? Because the team celebration, everybody gathers together, hugs each other as a group, and then there's the little individual fist bump, whatever, thank you, hug, whatever, But that goal, that first goal, you can tell a lot about the relationships and the dynamics of the players if you observe the nonverbal language and communication that happens when the celebration, right after a celebration. And Harry Maguire, I want to bring you up right now. This is why I was like, I nearly lost my train of thought early on. It's just, you could tell everybody else is hugging Ronaldo, so happy for that goal that it was putting us 1 goal up for the first time in a while. We're not also like conceding first, and we're like we're proactive. Harry Maguire comes in, he's just like, after the group hug with everybody, obviously, he goes to Ronaldo, like, with a little, like, nod, and a little distant, like, one and a little, handshake type thing. But like, Ronaldo's like, man, hug the goat. Hug the goat. Dallo is hugging the goat. Hug the goat, Harry. And he hugged the goat finally, because like, you could tell, like, it's not time for Twitter right now, and Harry's thinking about all the little riffs and Twitter comments that people have been talking about the imbalance of the. This is why I'm saying Ronaldo is August and Harry Maguire is Will Smith. So uh, hug the goat, Harry. Hug the goat. Because he saw Tom Brady up in the stands. He saw the goat and he was inspired by the goat. And he's like, I gotta come back to the game. One last rodeo. Go in one more season. Let's see how this thing go. And he saw how the goat go. So, Harry hugged the goat, you know. Um the thing that I I think we're now into troll time, because hug the goat, Harry. So Romero, Christian Romero, this is what I wanted to say about you, the Spurs defender, right? He goes around like he runs at Harry Maguire after Harry Maguire's own goal, and he literally he literally like goes ha, and then like you should watch that video again. The match again was just that the celebration again. He like laughs in his face, you know. And he must have not heard that, like, what goes around comes around, what goes up must come down. Love that Maguire, cause Ronaldo on fire. Hey, I don't know them where that came from, but like, he literally laughed at Maguire, and then on the corner kick on the third goal, it was more or less his fault that Ronaldo got that goal in. And it's that one of them lessons that, like, remember, what goes around comes around, baby. Don't forget that. He tried to be slick with it too, but now we out there now, at the end of the game laughing, and now so that really is a message to anybody. It's a reminder, and remember, stamps. The last thing that I want to say is to you, Eric Ramsey. That goal by Ronaldo, I have a question for you about it. And the question is, did you work on that corner routine with Alex Telles and Ronaldo?